If you're just starting and about to finish Juz Amma, which Juz should you start on next? Interesting question. I actually have a video on my YouTube channel in terms of what I believe should flow from Juz Amma, where you should go next, and I'll explain it here. But you can also visit that video where I go into a bit more detail. My personal recommendation is after you finish Juz Amma, you then move on to Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Baqarah. So you move to the front. Every teacher will have their own advices, but the reason for this is because the reason I say Juz Amma, and I usually say just half, not the full Juz Amma, I say just half. The reason for this is because the last 10 surahs, the last 20 surahs, these are recited commonly and constantly in our 5 daily prayers, right? When you go to the masjid or what you recite. So you're already sort of halfway there when it comes to the last half of Juz Amma. So you finish about half. From there, you move to Surah Al-Baqarah. Why? Because when you come to Surah Al-Baqarah, the length of verses fluctuate. So for example, we have Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alif Lam Mim. This is very short. The next verse, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. This is obviously not as short as Alif Lam Mim, but it's still fairly short, right? Then we come to الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. This verse is a little longer. And then further on, we have some very long verses. For example, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نَصْبِرَ عَلَى طَعَامٍ وَاحِدٍ فَادْعُ لَنَا. This is a very long verse. You have the longest verse in the Holy Quran, which is found in Surah Al-Baqarah. And what my point is that Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Ali Imran, Surah Al-Nisa, in these surahs, the length of verses fluctuate. So you get a taste of different lengths. Right? At the back from Juz Amma, everything is very short, and therefore you can get confused easily. Meaning, you forget the order. When you have very small verses, وَالْعَادِيَاتِ ضَبْحًا فَالْمُورِيَاتِ قَدْحًا, it's easy to get confused as what is the next verse, right? The other point, or the other reason why I advise going to the front is because it's known that at the end of the Quran, so from Juz 26 onwards, you have very difficult words that pop up, and they only pop up once. At the start of the Quran, you have stories of the Anbiya. You have the story of Musa alayhi salam, Adam alayhi salam. So a lot of the words repeat themselves, good length of verses, good mix. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نُؤْمِنَ وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نَصْبِرَ. So, you're having similar words. On the flip side, as I say, when you come to the end of the Quran, you have the most random words popping up. For example, وَالذَّارِيَاتِ ذَرْوَةً. These words, they don't come up anywhere else in the Holy Quran. وَالذَّارِيَاتِ ذَرْوَةً فَالْحَامِلَاتِ وِقْرًا فَالْجَارِيَاتِ يُسْرًا. Or for example, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. These are all random words. They don't come up. They don't always come up compared to, as I mentioned, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نُؤْمِنَ. Or وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. This comes up many times in the Holy Quran. So you're helping yourself. So 2 disadvantages when you carry on from Juz 30 and come back down. Number 1 is the verses are very short, and therefore it's easy to forget the next verse, and some of them are tongue twisters. And number 2 is the words, the choice of words. Some of them are very unique words. For example, وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا عَسْعَسْ. Nobody knows what al-as'as is. إِذَا عَسْعَسْ. This word is never mentioned anywhere else in the Holy Quran. So it's a bit difficult. So that's my personal recommendation. You can take it or leave it, each to their own. I'm not saying what other people do is completely wrong, but I've given my explanation. So I hope you take some benefit, and I hope it helps. نسأل الله القبول والإخلاص.